Hi, wrestling fans, and welcome to another action-packed and emotionally damaging edition of
Look,
AIWF
he done it real
Ringside.
good there for a second too.
What did what? An
You
intro?
froze.
Oh, I froze. Oh man. All right, let's try again. Welcome again, wrestling fans, to another action-packed and possibly emotionally traumatic edition of AIWF Ringside Wrestling. I am Mad Matt Carter, being joined by Commissioner Rick Diesel and
Who's wearing pants, by the way. I don't know why you think it'll be emotionally traumatic.
Well,
I'm wearing pants this week.
Well, we seem to discuss things that upset people sometimes, so especially a few weeks ago. But what?
I don't know what that was.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
Was it something I said?
I would know. It was probably something I said. Hey, I heard a Bob Saget joke earlier today. Well, no, I ain't telling that one.
I would not on here. That's one of the dirtiest human beings on the planet, man.
He was, but you know, the funny thing about Bob, I think about Bob a lot. If you ever watch any of his stand-up routines, he told these filthy, dirty jokes, but he was like the sweetest man. You know, because if anybody would heckle him or whatever, he'd bring him up on stage and introduce him to the crowd. You know, most comedians will tell you a new one if you heckle them, but Bob wouldn't do that. He would bring him up on stage and hug him and, you know, play a song for him. I mean,
but in all honesty, I just soon him tear me a new one.
Yeah, I learned a long time ago.
How do you respond to that?
The people are usually just standing there like, the ones I've seen, they don't know how to react to it.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, I miss Bob a whole lot, you know, and he came through Charlotte just a few weeks before he passed, and I didn't find out about it until that weekend, you know, that he was already, you know, playing the Comedy Zone. And I thought, Bob tours all the time. I'll catch him next time he comes through town. And then he went and passed away on me. So, you know, make every day count, boys and girls.
Live life to the fullest.
Exactly. So, but anyway, speaking of people that are under the weather, I'd like to wish AIWF play-by-play man Bobby Dalton a speedy recovery. He's a little under the weather right now. So, Bobby, if you're out there watching, hey, how are you? And I hope you get well soon, my friend. And we'll be talking to you soon, hopefully. So, last night, we had our last show before AIWF Deal with the Steel.
Which always gets a little crazy. And last night did not disappoint. I woke up this morning to like several people posted online how great that show was last night.
It was fantastic. And we, you know, we're going to go ahead and give the fans a little behind the scenes. We're trying to film like more TV style format at some of these shows. And so we had a lot of really compelling interviews. You know, I got to speak with Ryan Manis last night. I got to speak with Mickey Fulp last night. Joe Harrison and Mickey Fulp had a big confrontation in the ring. But I think the interview that's going to stick with me probably for the rest of my days is when I talked to one Brian Danzig. And kudos to Brian. I know he's really upset with Ty Tyson right now. But he came out there and told me exactly what was on his mind. He did not pull any punches. He didn't waste any time. He didn't give you no PC bullshit type answer. He basically just said it. You know, Ty Tyson brought this title out of retirement. We're talking about the AIWF Mid-Atlantic Hardcore title, and you're going to be able to see this interview very soon on Roku. So just stay tuned for that. And, you know, and later on YouTube, I was going to ask you, Rick Diesel, but I forgot to. I knew you were busy this afternoon. I was going to say, man, is there any way we could pull that footage from last night and show it to the people? Just Brian's interview. If not tonight, maybe next week.
Next week, because I ain't even unpacked it yet.
Yeah, it reminded me. I've interviewed Brian Danzig probably 100 times during his career. And remember, I used to say when the family was coming to the ring, I would always say in the commentary microphone, fear courses through my veins, because it was just something cold that just ran over you. And when Brian walked up to me, you know, I was fine when he first came out and I introduced him and everything, but as soon as he got within 3 feet of me, that old feeling came back. And I was almost at a loss for words at the beginning of the interview, you know. And I said, Brian, you know, I can't say that we did, you know, I can't say that I saw this coming, but I'm not surprised, I think was what I said, something to that effect. And Brian just basically laid it out, guys. He said Ty Tyson brought the AIWF Mid-Atlantic Hardcore title out of retirement, which was a title he retired with. He was insulted by that because he felt like that was his legacy as being Mr. Hardcore. And I would say that 9 out of 10 people that have ever seen AIWF over the last 30 years would agree with that, right? And he told Ty Tyson, look, I'm challenging you. That's my title, even though technically you're wearing it. I'm challenging you for a match. If you think you can beat me for that title, then we'll have a match for that title. And I don't guess Ty replied to him, answered his challenge fast enough, because things certainly went downhill in Ty Tyson's match. And I think we might be able to pull some footage of that. I was telling Reagan about my technical difficulties earlier, but I might be able to get some of that footage up here, but not right away. I just want to get you guys' thoughts and opinions on what we heard from Brian. And basically what he had to say. Do you kind of go along with what he said? Do you disagree? You know, how do you feel about the whole situation, honestly?
Well, historically, Brian is the one who unified the No Limits title with the Hardcore title. So, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, he is the one who established that title, not only for the Hardcore division, but for that the other division. And we, you know, life happened and we stepped away, and I feel like he believes that when we stepped away, there was no one there left to defend that title the way he defended it. I mean, if you know anything about Brian Danzig's history in the AIWF, there's a lot of, not just sweat, there's a lot of blood. There's a lot of blood on that title that was Brian Danzig's blood.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, life happens. People step away from wrestling for whatever reason. You know, things happen, your life changes. And I think, you know, he compartmentalized the Brian Danzig that we've seen over the past couple of years. And he compartmentalized away that Brian Danzig that bled for that title and put his life on the, I mean, sometimes it looked like his life on the line for that title. And I think, I honestly think seeing Ty Tyson just bring that title back, like Brian Danzig, you know, AIWF's Brian Danzig broke out of that part of Brian Danzig, the commentator's mind, and he thinks that's his title.
Yeah, Rick Diesel, you teamed with the man for many years. You know, what is Ty Tyson opened a can of worms that he is going to regret opening one day?
Well, I see where Brian's coming from. I get it. I do. I hope Brian hasn't got into something that where he's been out of the ring so long that this backfires on him.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm worried about. But I get it. If there's anybody from that era that can step up and challenge Ty Tyson to make Ty Tyson either prove he's worthy or regret ever thinking about it, it's Brian.
You know, and yeah. I saw that interview, and like I said, everybody knows I'm his wife, and I was chilled at the things he said. And the person, that's not the person that I've seen in a while. I haven't seen that Brian Danzig.
Isn't that what made it so eerie? Isn't that what made it so eerie?
I'll even tell you, you know, Darren sits near me, but on the other side of the camera, other side of the curtain. And he reached back and looked at me, and he says he was just blown away. He couldn't believe the difference. And he even said the difference between and how chilling that Brian Danzig is. And like I said, I don't know the last time I saw that Brian Danzig.
You know, you look back on it now, and it's weird when things happen initially, you don't really notice them. But then, like we talked about a little bit last week, you look back on it now when Ty won that title, Brian got up and went into the ring and handed him the title belt, but he had that 1,000-yard stare that I saw before he would wrestle, especially in, you know, something that was going to be really dangerous or really high stakes. You know, that he was in fight mode, and we kind of hinted at it a little bit, but you know, well, you know, maybe he's just reminiscing, you know, flashing back, having a little nostalgia. And that's what that was. But no, that lit a fire in him. But let's not pull any punches here. Brian, for everything he is and the legend that he is, and as dangerous of a man as he is, I said it last night, and I stand by this. A motivated Brian Danzig is still to this day one of the most dangerous men in all of wrestling.
Yes.
But Ty Tyson's no slouch either. He grew up watching ECW, you know, and he loves the hardcore style. When he was champion, he used his pull with Smiling Diamond Dave. Almost every match he would have turned into a no DQ match. So he could come out there and carve people up with weapons and thumbtacks and staple guns and all that kind of stuff. So now, after what happened last night and what happened with Brian and Rose Tyson, is that fire lit with Ty Tyson again? I mean, let's be honest, Brian attacked one of his children. We're not allowed to even show the tape yet, ladies and gentlemen. We can show clips of it, but I cannot show you the actual incident. I was told last night before I went home, do not even think about showing that yet. The AIWF governing board or directors or whatever wants to review the tape. And so I sent them their copy. They've got it. And we've got ours here, but we can't show it all to you. We're going to show what we can, but it's not much. It's just going to give you an idea of what happens. So, Rick Diesel, you know Ty Tyson pretty well too.
Yeah, I got to stay neutral on this one, but yeah. I mean, you do know that the match has been announced.
Oh yeah, yeah. We're going to take a look at the slideshow here. As a matter of fact, let me get it going.
So I mean, I'm like you, man. I'm at a loss for words because if there's ever been a match on Ty's side, he's wrestled a lot of crazy people, but he's never wrestled a true sadistic person. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And Brian can be. If Brian taps into what he had back in the day, Ty's going to be in for the fight of his life. But Ty's no slouch either, as far as Brian's concerned. This ain't going to be no Legends match with Johnny Reb and a bull rope.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
And that was a hell of a match.
Yeah.
That was a hell of a match.
Yes.
I hope we can find that video sometime and share that with the public. Good God. I thought somebody was going to die in that match.
And that was the last match Brian had. And that was, what, 5 years ago?
Yep. And it was the last match Johnny Reb had, and he ain't even thought about coming back to the ring.
He don't even come to visit no more.
No, you even mentioned that.
He just goes camping.
Yeah. He don't want to see a ring no more after that. So
exactly.
Yeah. So
and that was just a match that a nostalgia match that they booked. This has got personal here. There's more to it than just, hey, let's just bring a legend in, you know, a couple of legends in and a couple of Hall of Famers and let them have a match so the crowd can see, you know, the old guys wrestle. No, this is a lot more than that. And it's inside a cage.
Yep. Deal with the Steel is coming up as we go through our social media on the video platform. You can see our slides. My Twitter's at Mad Matt Carter, or at X, whatever you want to call it now. I got to get rid of that bird and get the new logo on the slideshow. Instagram, we are at AIWF Mid-Atlantic Wrestling, and Diesel, DEEZEL 24/7. But yep, here we go. It's time. It's time for the all cage match since 1997. Deal with the Steel comes your way in 13 days, Saturday, August 19th, every match inside a steel cage. We've got one official match announcement that we've been talking about, but a lot more still to come and a lot going on in the AIWF. As you can see, for this big show, tickets for the floor seats are $12. Bleachers are $10. But we've got a full day of fun for you. Not only all the matches inside the steel cage, deal with the steel, but check this out. Look at this schedule here. Okay, so the gates open at 4 p.m., right? And we're going to have our fans versus wrestlers kickball game. Now, don't worry. You're not going to be with a bunch of other fans and all the wrestlers are going to be on one team. It's going to be, they'll be managers and they'll divvy up the teams as evenly as possible. And if Kevin Phoenix is involved with it in any way, I'm sure that
that's actually grown. This kickball game has grown.
Yeah.
It's actually got pretty good.
He'll try to stack the field. We'll try to be there for you and cover that for you, at least at some point on Facebook Live.
Yeah.
But then the main building opens at 6:15. The Hall of Fame ceremony is at 6:30.
One more person's going into that'll be announced this week.
All right. Let's see. Who did we? I'm having a brain situation here. It's not working, but a half speed.
For this year?
Yeah, for this year. Remind us.
Christopher McKenzie, the golden child out of the Mid-Atlantic C4W. Sebastian Kane.
Frodo. Okay, yeah.
And
Scrapyard.
Scrapyard Dog.
Scrap. Okay.
Which
So-
I mean, it's gonna. I mean, kind of going back to Ty Tyson's match. I mean, that's Ty Tyson's mentor, correct?
Yes, that's his
Yeah.
trainer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's going to be interesting to see him be put in the Hall of Fame that night, and then Ty Tyson having to go up against Brian Danzig. So
Yeah.
That's a lot going to happen in a short amount of time. That's for sure. But yeah, so we got a full day of fun for you. So come early. We'll have the concession stands open. We'll have lots of good food and cold drinks for you. Come on out. Gates open at 4 p.m. for deal with the steel, and one ticket gets you into everything, So so one ticket and you could play kickball, come to the Hall of Fame, the whole 9 yards. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Lots and lots of fun. All right, and we do have the one match announced. It's for the AIWF Mid-Atlantic Hardcore Championship, and it is a dog collar match. If it couldn't get any more dangerous than locking these two crazy bastards inside a steel cage, we're putting a dog collar around their neck. And I have a feeling this is not going to be the traditional type dog collar match where you drag them and touch all four corners. I have a feeling this is probably just going to be beat the other guy until he can't get up anymore, or pinfall or submission, something like that. I'm not sure, but we'll find out those tips for you and let you know.
Yeah, there ain't gonna be no sneaking around behind the guy, and then when he touches, just before he touches the fourth corner, you pull him back, touch it yourself. I'll win. No, we don't do that here.
Yeah.
this is just to keep
No,
them
in here
together.
we strap them together and let them beat the hell out of each other until somebody can't get up.
Well, see, not only are you confined by the steel cage, but that dog collar is only about 8 feet long. So, you cannot get away from your opponent. There's no running and hiding, no putting, no hiding under the ring, a la Buddy Flowers yesterday. None of that stuff. You're
Well, and also
kinda-
keep in mind too, Matt, if you're attached to somebody else by that chain and that dog collar in our cage the way it is now, we have one open section that you can go down to the floor, so you can get hung in a cage.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really dangerous. Like when I don't think, like when Ty accepted Brian's challenge last night, I don't think it really hit me until I saw this poster come out earlier today. And I remember when I saw it, because I wanted to put it on the slideshow. As soon as it popped up, I was just like, oh shit, this is really going to happen. This just having the visual aid here. And I'm sorry for you people listening on audio, but you can see it on our AIWF Mid-Atlantic Facebook page. Having the visual aid here is just like, all right, this is really going to happen, and it really just feels more dangerous now. I'm at a loss for words, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. I'm piddling. Go ahead.
Well, let's let me see here if I can find some of this video real quick. And what it was last night we had a match I don't know if he's a brand newcomer, but relatively newcomer, Jack Sharp taking on Ty Tyson. And Brian came to ringside and was just he was kind of just posted up there pulling for Jack. Can you guys see the video?
Not yet.
No.
Blank screen. Oh no, wait. I can see it. I just can't see it on mine. I can see it on the Facebook page.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah, and see Brian at ringside there coaching Jack against Ty Tyson. This was a non-title match, but it was obvious from the beginning when Brian walked out there that Ty was distracted. I thought, from the very beginning, and Brian knew that. He knew he was taking up rent in Ty Tyson's head, and and Ty was distracted. Now, what do we know about this Jack Sharp character? He definitely seemed at home. He does not seem like he might be a newcomer to the Mid-Atlantic, but he did not seem short on any skill.
I think he has been here before, but I don't think he's I don't think he's a regular. If that makes sense. I don't know exactly what I'm.
I don't know if you saw.
It's been a few months. I think it's been a few months since I think he's been around.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Reagan. I'm sorry.
Well, I was gonna say he did. I mean, he was definitely given Ty more than I think Ty thought he was going to get from him. He was definitely Ty was definitely distracted during that match. I mean,
and I don't know if you saw earlier when Jack was going up to the top rope, he gave Brian a thumbs up and Brian nodded at him. And so I think it was pretty clear that they were in cahoots.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure at first, but as the match went on, and then what happened post-match definitely proved that they were in cahoots. But so let me stop sharing just for a second. I can so anyway, Brian certainly made his presence known at ringside. Things did not go well for Ty Tyson. And then at the end, Brian.
Oh, Lord, Trista's watching. I don't think I've ever seen Trista pop up watching.
As long as she doesn't come on. Let's see. I won't let her in. But let's take a look at after the match real quick here. What I can show you, which is going to be minimal, but just bear with us, fans. The rest of this is going to come to light in a few weeks. But Brian gets into the ring, and look at this. Jack Sharp's in there. Here comes Mason Matthews. Everybody thought Mason Matthews was going to break this up, but he starts in on Tyson as well. And then you see Rose Tyson in the ring, and Mason tells her, "Get out." And Brian's telling him, "Ty, I want you to accept the match," because Ty had not accepted his challenge. And like I said, fans,
what am I looking at here?
Yeah, Matt, you can only see like a teeny tiny video and then your screen.
Oh, okay. Hang on.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties. Let's try this one more again.
I had to change some stuff on that poster, Matt.
So I
fixed it.
You fixed the $sign?
No, on the other one. Put in that it was a title match.
Yeah, so you guys should be able to see it now.
Yeah, we're watching it now.
And Rose Tyson's in there pleading with these guys, stop beating up my dad. But Brian's pretty, like, you can see by the look on his face, he's pretty all business right now. And what they are doing, they are tying Ty Tyson to the ropes. It's hard to see here because there's so much going on. They've actually got like the tag ropes off the ring, I think, and maybe some athletic tape. And look at this. Rose Tyson puts her hands on Brian, and that ended up being a bad mistake. And we're getting to the point here that I'm going to have to stop the tape, ladies and gentlemen, because it's what's about to happen here is just ugly. And yep, okay. All right, right there. That's where they wanted me to stop. So Thoughts, comments, concerns. We all know what happened after that match.
Well, I'm in a pickle too, because I mean, the thing about it is, like we've said on here before, all of us, that male, female, manager, valet, whoever, when you step into that ring, there are certain consequences sometimes. And we've all said that before. And she's been at the ring, she's been involved. I'm not saying what she did was right, what happened was right or wrong. I'm not even going to go there.
The look on the fan's face says it all.
Yeah. So
yeah, and you can look at Ty's face. He can't believe what's just happened. That's this lady right here, yeah, in the front row.
Yeah. That tells you everything you need to know. That right there. That person right there tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah. And as soon as we get clearance, wrestling fans, we're going to show you this whole disturbing incident. It'll probably be on the Roku channel first before we get it up on YouTube. But yeah, I thought it would be Clara that would snap and pop Rose first, because that goes back a long way. And Clara was even telling me at her wedding that, you know, she thought about how much fun it would be to just, you know, pop Rose right in the mouth. And she was trying to hold back because she was a child. But then Brian comes along and does not even give it a second. This shows you like what years of experience in the ring wars. And Clara's very young, you know, and still she's very good, but she hadn't been in wrestling all that many years. With that experience, I guess, and I don't know, being jaded from the ring wars or whatever. I mean, but she put her hands on Brian. She had signed her death warrant already. She just didn't know it, you know.
See, and I'm like Reagan, because I'm basically in that same pickle. I mean, because I run with Brian for so long, and he's so close to me. And we all know my relationship with Rose and Ty and Trista and the whole freaking thing. But I have to agree, family or not, if you step in the ring, if she didn't want to suffer the consequences, stay on the floor. Trista stayed on the floor, and she's not even been trained. She knew better. She's been around it long enough. So I can't. I guess I got to take the tough love stance, you know, and just look at her and say, if you're going to be in this business, then you got to accept the consequences for your actions. I mean, she's not hurt bad enough. She's at home. She's fine. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's not like she's ended up in the hospital for days or in a neck brace or anything. I don't know if my feelings would have been different if that had happened, but I don't know. Once again, I've been in this business for 35 years plus, and I've seen a lot of stuff, a lot of water under the bridge. And I can't help but think, if you want to be in this business, then I can't coddle you. I can't pet you. You know, there's going to be a lot of times in the future that she's going to get into those same situations. And if she has to come running to daddy or mama or me, or you know what I'm saying, then she don't need to be in this business.
Well, I'm glad you provided that update. I had forgotten that we promised the fans at the end of the live event last night that we told them, you know, Rose was going to the hospital just for some evaluations. I mean, she'd been dropped on her head. We know more about concussions and head injuries these days. So you take the extra steps, but she's not in a neck brace. They did not keep her overnight. I mean, basically just checked and released, right? Hey, you're good.
Right. Yeah, it's just check and release.
Doctor probably said, stay home, the hell.
You know, early went home, you know, in the middle of the night, I guess, because and she's rested comfortably all day today.
And the doctor probably told her, well, stay the hell out of the wrestling ring, you know.
Well, you and I both know we don't know what they told her at the doctor that happened. You know, how many parents are going to take their kid in there and say, yeah, I need to check my daughter's got dropped on her head in a wrestling match.
What?
That was more of a, tripped over a bicycle and fell down the stairs story.
Boy, does that even sound more like a domestic with that story?
Yeah, you also got to be, you also got to wonder if anybody got any strange looks about, so do we need to send somebody to your house to check out the living situations? Yeah, but
so Tristan,
I don't know what the story was. They didn't tell me what they come up with on that, but I am pretty damn sure they did not tell the doctors at the local ER that she got dropped on her head by this dude in a wrestling match.
Having said that,
and we'd appreciate it if nobody else would tell them that either.
Yeah, well, you're broadcasting worldwide here.
Let's don't get her banned from the ring by the social services.
Yeah, you beat me to my next punchline. I was gonna be like, so Trista, if Monday afternoon a social worker shows up at your door, don't be surprised.
Yeah, we got a call about your daughter getting, stuffed on her head. Come on, use some common sense, people. They didn't tell them at the ER what happened. Been doing this a long time. We've told plenty of stories about how we get injured.
Yeah. All right. Well, here, let me read a couple of ads real quick, guys. Let me do that. Let's see here. We will see. All right. Can you guys see the slideshow now? All right. So, thanks to our newest sponsor, Premier Auto Detailing. We say hands down the best car cleaning service in town. If you just need a simple car wash, or you want to get down to like clean it up via toothbrush detailing service, we can help you out. All you need to do is call 336-883-5722. That's 336-883-5722. They operate mainly in the Mount Airy, Surry County area of North Carolina. Again, they offer all kinds of services. So like I said, if you've had that old Uncle Jerry's pickup on blocks in the backyard for the last 15 years and you finally got it running, you're ready to take it to town and meet some girls, they can help get that thing cleaned up and ready to go for you. If you got a used car lot, or you own a business that you have a fleet of trucks or anything like that needs special attention, they can help you with that too. So personal and commercial use, feel free to give them a call. Premier Auto Detailing at 336-883-5722. That's 336-883-5722. And Rick Diesel mentioned that he was folding t-shirts, and I imagine it was probably
hey, just to get back to that last one there, Matt, just so everybody is very clear, that middle picture on the left, they do not allow your car to wash itself. They will do it for you.
Yeah.
They are professional.
Yes, they are. All right. They will allow your car. I tell you what, I'm one of those people who wish cars would wash themselves. Although I wouldn't want a full-fledged transformer. Those things are kind of dangerous. But Rick Diesel, you mentioned you were folding t-shirts earlier. I wonder if it was related to our next sponsor, Tees Creations.
Very much so. Very much so. Miss Trista should be live on TikTok shop as we speak.
All right. So you can head on over to where's she at on TikTok? Just if people want to go over there and see her.
Hell, I don't know. I don't ask. You want me to call her and ask her?
Yeah, why not? We're doing her ad, so.
Well, I don't know if I can. So let me see here.
Just tell her what we need to search on TikTok.
Well, if she's live, she ain't gonna talk.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Let's see. But I'll do an end and around.
We'll try it and see. Calling up the sponsor live on the show. Compelling.
Oh, what are you doing answering that phone? Are you live?
Printing off stuff for all these orders that you left me up here doing by myself.
I had a show to do, by the way.
I'm so glad that's more important.
Well, actually, we're in the middle of doing your ad right now. And Matt wanted to know where people could find you on the TikTok.
Tees Creations 00 at T's Creations 00, or just type in T's Creations.
At T's Creations 00. Okay. Or at T's Creations. Let me write that down.
No, you said it backwards.
What?
Okay.
It's either
T's Creations
or
00.
at T's Creations 00.
T's Creations or at T's Creations 00.
But
Oh.
they would be better off to just type in T''S Creations, and it'll take them right to my page.
Okay. All right, cool. T''S Creations on TikTok. Awesome.
Yes.
Well,
What's
that's-
Ty doing?
Eating.
Why am I not surprised? All right. Well, you keep making them shirts now. Money. Hustle that dollar. Ah.
All right, so there you go. And they can do custom made shirts. They've got stuff to choose from there. You can follow Trista. You can visit their website, tscreations22.com, or over on Facebook, T's Creations by Allied Apparel. Or like you just heard now on TikTok, just search T''S Creations. That's on TikTok, and we'll get a slide added for that. So you can find her there, and she does live sales on there.
And
So
sometimes I show up.
sometimes Rick Diesel makes a
I do.
run.
Every once in a while I'll make an appearance. It's whether or not I'm in my bathrobe will all depend on what time of day it is.
Or whether he's wearing pants.
Or whether I'm wearing pants.
Hey, Letterman got away with it for years. Why not you?
Yes, he
right?
did. Good for him.
All right. So, well, it's hot under those studio lights. Where you can join this family of fun and cheap advertising, and we do mean cheap. When I tell you we put in a headlock on high advertising prices, $10 a month will get you on this soon to be winning the Marconi podcast. For an audio read, just like you just heard. Or we could do a video commercial for $30. We'll put you on all different kinds of platforms. We're about everywhere you can find your favorite podcast. We do Facebook Live every Sunday night around 6:30 p.m. The show goes up on YouTube as well on AIWF Ringside Wrestling. We're also thinking about maybe adding some more video social media to our platforms. If you'd like information about advertising, reach out to us at AIWF20@hotmail.com, or just approach me or Rick Diesel if you can catch him at a live event, and we'll be glad to talk to you. All right.
Dude, I am pretty scarce. But see, you know what? Let me tell you something. Our production team is so damn good now that I don't have to run as much as I used to. I mean, it's just like there's this peace that comes over me knowing that everything's handled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have to admit the production game has stepped up quite a bit
Yes,
in
it
the last
has.
couple of months.
Recently, it has. It's just like it's got a whole new life.
Yeah, and I mean, we went through. We went through.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Well, see, I've lived this all before, because I don't know if you guys remember when a certain South Carolina resident was in charge of the videotapes and stuff like that in the mid 2000s. And if you go back and you listen to my commentary on some of those matches, like, it became a running joke that when we turned those tapes over to the post-production, we'd never see the footage again. And so you can hear me on many of those matches. I'll be like, hey, thank you for joining us wherever you're watching. And to be honest, I'm surprised and glad you're with us, because I didn't
But you know
think this
what?
footage would ever see the light of day.
Listen, I'm not trying to be mean, but it's something about them South Carolina people when they're in charge of stuff getting posted.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
But
I didn't
when you
think
turn
about-
it over to them South Carolina boys and it's up to them for it to get up on the internet, it's like shooting dice in Vegas, man. It may or may not hit. Oh yeah, I hear about that one.
You're getting a phone call.
I didn't say it. I didn't
Hey,
say
listen.
it. I've already heard enough feelings. I'm not gonna say anything
Let me
else.
tell you something. If you can't take the joke, don't supply the punchlines.
Yeah, and don't make promises you can't keep. That's the most important thing. But yeah, we're all over the place, man. As far as the podcasting world goes. So, be sure you check us out and,
Listen to us while you're driving. Just don't watch us while you're driving.
yeah, no. Don't drive. Yeah. Don't watch us while you're driving. Let's see. Okay. So it's big sports weekend this weekend, as far as the wrestling business goes. I'm not going to give away any spoilers here. And I know you two probably didn't watch it, because of your clear, history of what you told me that your involvement with observing modern wrestling is. But SummerSlam was yesterday, and man, I'll tell you what, they had it at Ford Field in Detroit, and it was Kid Rock did the intro, which was really cool because he was playing that Ball with the Ball was playing in the background, which immediately took me back to 98 in my youth. And so I was really digging that. But they were showing clips throughout the years of the different SummerSlams all the way back to 88, which got me thinking. We talk about nostalgia on here a lot of times, and we're coming up to Deal with the Steel. So we've all been to a lot of Deal with the Steels. Would you guys like to share some of your favorite moments or things that stand out to you that happened at Deal with the Steel over the years?
You tell school's getting ready to start.
Reagan's hand went up. Okay, Reagan, go ahead. Go ahead.
My own scar from wrestling is from Deal with the Steel. It was me and Brian against Richie and the infamous Neil Leathers. And I was taking care of some business. Not going to say what that was because I don't want to break kayfabe.
Thank you.
But the infamous Neil Leathers was not paying attention. And then I got severely lacerated.
Okay. All right. And what year was
a great match. It was outside at Westfield, the Westfield school.
99 then.
99, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And that was a ladder match. And that was, man, if nobody's ever seen Richie Mitchell or Chris Tenney wrestle like older video, you got to find some, because Richie Mitchell was sadistic too. He was a good guy. Just to kind of put things in context for the way things were in those years. Everybody was sadistic. Everybody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even good guys were so sadistic and did not care. Their whole thing was to win, and it was by any means necessary. So that's one of my memories from like Deal with the Steel in general, and through the time, like especially back then, everybody was sadistic, and Deal with the Steel was like the stamp and the go for be as sadistic as you can and you should be in their cage. Because I always liked Deal with the Steel because it wasn't like WC, besides like Fall Brawl, not talking about that, but those cage matches where the whole point is to escape. Yeah,
I hated it.
That's an old WWF.
Biggest puss wins.
Yeah, that's old WWF.
I mean, WCW had some like that too, right? They had some escape.
Yeah. But WWE or WWF back in the day actually made their cages easier to climb, so you could have an easier chance getting out. They made them into big squares.
Yeah, the old blue steel cage.
Yeah,
I remember that. I always thought that was weird as a kid too, because it's like, we've got this vendetta coming down. We want it to be, we want to settle this blood feud, but it's going to be first to escape.
Yeah. Biggest coward win.
You know what, though? In spite of those rules, I will tell you, speaking of SummerSlam, if you want us to actually see one of those cage matches that was done well, Owen Hart versus Bret Hart, SummerSlam 94. The match went like 38 minutes. And it's because neither one of them was trying to escape that much. I mean, they were actually settling their blood feud. They were in the middle fighting. And so even though the rules were set up that way, I would encourage you, if you hadn't seen that, go back, get your, those of you who are Peacock subscribers, pull your old cock out and go to SummerSlam 94 and check that out. Hell of a match. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
WWF didn't change that until Hell with the Cells, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was sometime around that time.
In the cage, fighting in the cage. Yeah. Right. I think so. Yeah.
Well,
It's when
if,
they put the
that's-
top on it, right?
yeah, that was Hell in
Yeah.
a Cell when they put the top on it. But now I think still, if they do like a traditional cage match, like if you go to a house show or something, the option is you can win by pinfall, submission, or escaping the cage. But nobody except your like real chicken shit type heels even tries
Yeah.
to escape anymore.
Mhm.
So you put Dominic
Me-
Mysterio on one of those, he's going to dive for the damn door. You can better believe as soon as the bell rings.
But yeah, so I think everybody thinks extreme content is one of the most violent, but I would say Deal with the Steel is one of the most violent.
Yeah,
In
I
my
would have to
opinion.
agree.
And we have had we're debuting, we've restrung some of the panels this year with stronger wire, so the cage is heavier and stronger, and when you hit it, it don't give no more.
Oh Lord, if that's all that cage needed was to be more sturdy, it's
Yeah.
dangerous enough as it is.
So yeah, it's more sturdy now.
Yeah, let's reinforce this thing. It's like when they built the elimination chamber, right? I know what this cage needs: metal grates on the outside, so when they
Yeah.
fall on them, it'll cut their backs. So Rick Diesel, how about you? Your favorite Deal with a Steel memory? First thing that pops into your head?
Well, my favorite is pretty much anything 98.
That was a
Stewart, Virginia.
hell of a show.
And
Oh,
but I cannot deny my favorite match, my favorite moment, Deal with a Steel moment. That's why I'll call it that. Kiss my ass, Vince. My deal moment was the match with me and Daniel Mays versus JT Sledge and Gemini. When, it was the anything you could fit in a trash can match.
Yeah.
Weapons, anything you fit in a trash can was considered a weapon. And
is that where Daniel May came off the top?
yes. Yes,
he did.
Yeah. We when we stuffed Bad Brad in the trash can and carried him to the ring with all those weapons, and when he come out and the look on the crowd's face when he come out of that barrel, that trash can, and it was 3-on-2 at that point because he was a legal weapon.
Yeah.
And wrestlers and fans and anybody trying to get in that cage to stop the carnage.
I remember like when I think Bill Holiday was refereeing that match. And when Brad came out of the trash can, he walked over and was like, no. And either you or Daniel grabbed him and was like, no, the rules say anything we could bring to the ring in that trash can. And that's when he came out of it. And Bill was just like, all right, and he had to back down. Funny thing about that was Dr. Bill and I were calling the match. We thought Brad had been hiding under the ring. And so if you listen to the commentary, it took me, I don't know if Billy saw it, but it took me several minutes to figure out what had happened because that's how unusual it was. I mean, we saw you and Daniel struggling with the trash can coming down to the ring. You could barely get it in the cage, because it had a person in it.
A whole body in the thing.
Yeah, a live human being, and we were like, what in the world? And we were all joking, oh yeah, they brought an anvil or, they brought a ship's anchor or something like that. But no, it was way worse. It was a whole nother person.
Well, and you have to remember too, man, and you and Billy thinking that he come out from under the ring is that's actually understandable. Because if you'll remember, that cage is like the one we got now, except it was away from the ring on two sides.
Yep.
So the cage we have now is a direct descendant. It is designed like that cage in 98 that we used back in the late 90s. That's where the whole design for that cage come from that we have now. But we won't go with we won't add another open side. One side's enough for where we work.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, go all the way to the floor and you can get out of the ring But that's what it was. And and that was my favorite. But that whole show, Brian and TX in a no ropes barbed wire match inside a cage.
Yeah.
I mean, that and my God, that whole show was just, even the freaking Ultimate Phantom was awesome in that damn show, man. You know what I'm saying?
It was wild.
Nothing could went wrong with, and that Rotary Field in Stewart, Virginia, you could, I don't know if you could wedge many more people in that building that night.
Not at that time, no. I mean, we had to, because so many people showed up, and I'm going to point to that one too, because for several reasons, and this is one of them. The night that show happened, so many people showed up. An hour before showtime, we ran out of chairs inside the building. We had to go out to the softball field, and a bunch of us got together. There's probably a dozen guys got together and picked up a set of bleachers from the baseball field and brought them inside the building to accommodate all the people that needed to be seated. And so what Stewart, you usually drew 150 people maybe, and that night it God, it had to be close to 300 in there that night. It was just people everywhere.
Yeah, it was amazing.
No, we couldn't believe it. We could not believe it. And what was funny is we didn't have TV in Stewart, but we had TV in Martinsville and we had TV in Mount Airy, and it was like all those fans came together.
Yeah,
that night.
That was a perfect. That was just like planets lining up that night, man. It was just perfect.
Yeah,
it was a perfect place to have that show. It was a perfect show, and people were just coming from everywhere. I loved it.
And
that's my deal with the steel memory, biggest memory.
It's
I just remember. Oh
no, I was going to say, if you don't believe us, go on the Roku channel. Last time I checked, it was still there. Deal with the Steel 98. It may or may not be there. Rick Diesel, you might have to check on.
I'm checking now.
Can I take a Roku device and plug it into my regular PC computer so I could like do a screen share and show people how to navigate it or what was on it? Would that be possible, or do you guys know?
That I don't know.
I don't know, but couldn't you? But you could probably hook up your computer to a TV and do it. Shouldn't you be able to? Like
Might
if you
be
had
able to. Yeah, because I got an extra HDMI port on the TV in the living room that I watch Roku on. I'm like, I'll see if I can't figure something out. Hey, if you got any ideas about how we could do a little screen share educational thing on this program with the Roku device plugged directly into a PC, put them in the comments below, either on Facebook or YouTube, and we will look into that. Your help would be greatly appreciated. Let's see. But yeah, and I went back and watched it not too long ago. Funny story about that was I was deathly ill that day. I had a terrible case of the flu. And on the master tape, not on the one that's on the Roku, because that was the one that was, edited for home video. But you can hear Billy with about 2 matches left to go, lean over and go, "Hey man, you gonna make it?" Like that. And I'm like, "I think so, man." And I was just like, you can hear me all snotty and everything. And as soon as we go back on the air, I'm like, "All right, fans, here we go." It took everything.
It is still there. You had to scroll. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You'll have to scroll through, but it should still be. It's still there. And it's pushing 7,000 views. So.
Wow. Not bad.
No.
Not bad at all.
Yeah, go check it out. That's my vote for greatest deal to steal ever.
Yeah, and it was only the second one.
Yeah,
only the second one. Yeah, and we've had a lot of good ones since then. Oh my! I mean, over the years, so many good ones. I remember '98 the fondly too, because it was a great show. I was terribly sick, but just everything fell together that night. It was just.
We were fans at that show. Like that's the first started coming around was for those, and they were. I mean, coming from somebody, me and my friends who just watched on TV at that time, because that was in the the depths of NWO and all that stuff. But to come and watch that, and then to come to AIWF and see that deal with the steel, it blew our minds away. Like it was something we had never seen ever, and we were just blown away. Like That was just what I remember from that. Cause like I said, I think we were fans for that one. And, and, uh, and we were blown away. We were blown away.
It was a hell of a show, that's for sure. A hell of a show. Oh boy. Okay, so let me quickly do this. I got a couple
Wait,
more. Go ahead, Reagan. I'm sorry.
Well, I was gonna say we also had some interesting things happen with the mask attackers on Buddy Flowers, but I don't know how much we can go into that either.
I don't have any video of that, but I'd like to talk to it after I read these next two ads real quick.
Okay.
All right, so let's see here. You should be able to see for branch management. Branch management, Rick Diesel, has moved into more of the general landscaping area.
That's right. And you know what?
That's not a real goose in that picture.
Oh, it ain't, is it? Let's call the head bush trimmer.
The head bush trimmer. Okay.
Hey, bush trimmer. So we're doing the branch management ad live on the internet. So we figured we'd call and get some information on your yard mowing. Okay. Ask him what you want to know, Matt.
How do you bill for like yards? Does it, I mean, is it just pure acreage, or does it matter how much you have to mow around, like bushes and flowers and stuff like that? Or
well, that's because you got probably a cheap phone. Hang on, let me turn the volume up. All right, try it again, Matt.
I mean, how do you determine if I call you out for a free estimate, like when you price a yard, does it matter if it's like it just pure acreage, the amount, or is it like if it's got a lot of hills, a lot of stuff to mow around? How do you determine, what type of fee you're gonna charge for cutting the grass?
My base price usually starts at about $50 and goes up depending on how much weed eating needs to be done and how much acreage of land has to be mowed.
Oh, well, that sounds fair.
Yeah.
So is what you said you offer weed eating? Do you do like in the fall? Do you do aeration? Can you plant me some azalea bushes at the right time of year? That type of stuff.
The best time of the year to trim bushes is in the spring and in the fall. I do trim bushes. I trim tree limbs. I can cut down and remove trees up to about 12 to 15 foot tall.
Mm-hmm.
I can install flower beds, any kind of planting bushes, installing rocks in flower beds or mulch. I can do flower bed designs. Pretty much anything that you need done in landscaping in your yard, I can pretty much do.
Now, I'm assuming just me, I don't know nothing about stuff like this, but I would assume just me, the best time to trim a bush is right before bikini season.
You'd be wrong.
No?
No.
Okay.
Why did it take people so long to get that one?
Yeah, we definitely talking about the wrong kind of bush.
Oh, okay.
The regular bushes and plants that are in a yard or in a flower bed, the best time to trim them is springtime or in the fall. You try to trim anything in the middle of the summer, it could possibly shock the root system and kill it.
Or you'll get a bad rash.
True.
I wish somebody told my landlady that when I lived over in Winston.
Well, some people shouldn't be allowed to do yard work, and as he's right, and you're supposed to plant in the fall, correct? If you're going to plant bushes.
He said you're supposed to plant in the fall, correct?
Yes, you can plant. You can also plant in the fall or in the spring.
Oh, okay. All right. So if you
Plant
need
in the fall, that way during the fall and winter months, the plant, even though the ground can get cold, the plants can still root itself into the dirt and into the soil. very good. And
And-
by the springtime, they'll be rooted in good before the summer hits, and you won't have to worry about your roots getting dried out and dying.
There you go.
And I'm assuming that the older you get, your roots shrivel up more. And if it's cold, you know, the roots are not going to grow up as big and stand out as straight. Okay, I'll quit, Matt. Damn it, I'm sorry.
So if you need any of these if you have any questions about bushes or other landscaping issues, you call branch management at either 336-755-8204 or 336-755-9882. Those numbers.
Hey.
Yes.
Is there what's that number? What's your number, Darren? Was it on there?
Yeah, for the second part, first two numbers he gave was for the actual tree service.
Okay.
Mine is the landscaping.
Yeah.
Okay, that's 336-648-2487. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. I'll just have to adjust the slide. I'll get that fixed.
Right. Awesome.
I was just going by what was on Facebook. Look, here's my evidence. See, that was on the Facebook page. That's where I took that picture off of. So.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah. That Facebook page needs to be updated.
Well, there we have it. Branch management.
I
So
don't
if you
know.
need any landscaping work done, be sure you hit them up. They'll be glad to help you out. And that operates in the Mount Airy, Surry County area.
Yes, sir. All right. Thank you, Bushwhacker.
Whoa! Yeah.
That's why they'll come up your yard.
Wrestling fans get that one, I hope. Tease Treats is our most delicious sponsor, locally owned food truck based here in Mount Airy. Great pizza, delicious dogs, and decadent desserts, now featuring mini donuts. And now that Rick Diesel has all that extra time on his hands at the live events, you might actually get some mini donuts made by Rick Diesel himself. So,
Hey, and starting Wednesday, Tease Treats will be at Surry County Fair in the VFW concession stand.
I am so excited for them for that, because for years I've been coming to the fair, and like Tease Treats is always a good spot to get desserts and all that kind of stuff. But if you want some regular food, barbecue sandwich, hot dog, whatever, that's always been, I thought, the best booth to go to and the most affordable at the fair, my opinion. And so for Tease Treats to be taking that over, I think is a big deal, man. And I am so happy for them. For that.
And there's rumors that I don't know what this thing is, but they've told me about it. I've heard about it for years, but they said they're bringing in the walking tacos, whatever the hell that is.
Walking tacos.
Yeah.
Oh, those are exciting. I like walking tacos. However, I don't know if I'm going to be allowed to ever eat at Tease Treats again. So
What did you do?
what did I do?
Her
What did
husband,
I do? I didn't do anything.
Well, then why would they not allow you to eat there no more?
Because,
would you like a visual aid?
Oh, yeah. We're going back to the first of the shows. See,
yeah.
I have to separate myself from that stuff.
Yeah, yep. You got to remain neutral. Well, that's right. Yeah, hey, we always talk about referees in the wrestling business. The best referees are the ones you don't notice, right? And sometimes I think the best commissioners are the ones you don't notice. They stay neutral, they stay out of it. Because Rick Diesel, we've seen you in the past. If somebody forces your hand, you will make a ruling, but it's not very often that you stick your nose in the officiating, man. You kind of just let the chips fall where they may. So, but check
I
out.
would say I might have to get divorced if I can never eat at Tease Treats again.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, but yeah, I was like, I couldn't get the visual aid quick enough up because I had the slideshow. But yeah, Tease Treats will be at the Surry County Fair this weekend. Be sure, starting Wednesday, not just the weekend.
Wednesday through Sunday.
Yep.
And AIWF Mid-Atlantic will be wrestling Friday and Saturday in the grandstand building where our normal setup is.
Yep. And then after the
Free
fair,
with admission to the fair.
yes, that's right. I reminded the folks last night, but yeah, so your fair admission includes the wrestling.
Right.
So if you want to see wrestling while you're there, it includes all the shows, really. I don't know if that motorcycle show is going to be there again this year, but I hadn't looked at but
Yeah, that was a good one last year.
yes, it was. But Doug, Judy, I miss No Joe's Clown Circus. I'm just saying, just for future.
Well,
maybe in another 5 years.
I'd actually suggested they let us just set the ring up out there next to the motorcycle show, but after the 4th of July, they won't let us outside no more.
Let's say the show will be inside just like it usually is for people who want to come in.
Right. So we ain't got no whinies.
No,
I tell you what,
We're heinies.
that
And if we do have a
whiny,
hiney, nobody will whiny.
that whiny got taken to task on social media. I will
Yes,
say that.
oh,
Oh my
God, yes.
God. Oh, she ended up taking down the post, and I mean, whew, yeah. Be careful what you complain about. Make sure that your arguments are well founded when you go on social media.
Don't grab a snake if you don't know where the head's at.
Yeah, exactly.
and if you post about things
Amen.
being obscene, and if you post about things being obscene, make sure that your breasts aren't hanging out in your posts.
Yes, that would be nice.
Well, I didn't see
I'll
that.
say it because I'm a woman. I'll say it 'cause I'm a woman. So
All right. So
we went off on a tangent.
no, I'm about to go off on a tangent because this is one last thing that I want to cover before we get out of here. And I'd like to say this nostalgia, and we did that. I did this on purpose about the deal with the steel thing. Nostalgia is a fun thing. We all like to look back when we were younger and were more limber, and me myself more attractive. At least I thought so. I'll leave that up to you ladies, but anyway, it nostalgia, it's always fun to look back and think about what we did and what we accomplished and everything, but I think one of the things that happens when you do get involved in nostalgia, one thing that's dangerous about nostalgia is you tend to forget about the bad things and I only remember the good things, because a debate came up a few nights ago on social media. I'm not getting into the details about the wrestling business then compared to the wrestling business now, and some words that will always get me fired up. These kids don't know how it used to be. Good. That's why everybody busted their ass in the 90s. That's why we weren't, when I asked Rick Diesel several years ago, do you think we're ever going to take this thing on the road again? Or are we just going to stay here in Mount Airy at Veterans Park? And he said, I think we're going to be fine just here. Yes, we don't have to set up and tear down anymore. No pulling the transmissions out of Ryder trucks hauling the ring up the mountain anymore.
Exactly.
There's independent promotions in every town in North Carolina. We talked about it last week. They're everywhere. It's not like it was in the 90s.
No,
we don't have to travel anymore. And these kids don't know how it was in the 90s because they were born 20 years ago. So if they were born in 2003, they don't have a frame of reference. And he's talking about how these kids have it easy, I will never be quiet when people do that. It is not somebody's fault that they are 20 years old. They were born when they were born, and they can only go by frame of reference. If we want to sit around in the dressing room and tell stories about the 90s, I'll be right in there with you. I'll tell you all, but I'm going to try to remember to tell you all the crappy parts of it too, so you can appreciate where you're at right now. Oh, yeah. So, I mean, I enjoy, it's like I told Jinky yesterday, I was like, I enjoy Crockett wrestling from 1984, but that was the year my parents split up. But it don't make me not like the wrestling. I just didn't like the other parts of 1984, I mean, so go ahead. Reagan, you
caveat on that. To put a caveat on there, that one night that ring did have to be torn down before the July 4th, I bet there were 20 guys out there, and girls probably, out there tearing that ring down.
Mm-hmm.
So there's things you don't see when you don't come to the shows.
Yeah.
Or you're not there afterwards. Or you don't come consistently. Or you want to be a keyboard warrior on whatever problem you're having that night. You didn't see that ring get tore down by those people.
In 15 minutes.
So, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I texted you, Matt, about the same thing that night. And I spent 2 years taking and putting that ring up and taking that ring down. A big majority of that was riding in that terrible bus. I don't know if you remember bus. Matt.
Which one? We had two.
Yeah, we had two.
I don't know. I don't know. One of them.
Was it?
I remember going to Whitworth in that bus.
We had a big one and a little one.
It was a big yellow. It was the big
that
one.
was the second one.
Yeah.
Yes. So I remember riding to Whitworth from Mount Airy in that place. In that bus. I remember riding that bus up the mountain, I guess, to West Virginia, I guess. I'm not sure because I remember going up 77 in it and it going like 2 miles an hour, it being 3,000 degrees. And then I remember being one of the few people in the 90s and the early 2000s who took that ring up and down. Come at me if
Every weekend.
you want to, but I'm gonna say, huh?
Every weekend. Somewhere.
Yeah.
Every weekend I did that. Sometimes on Friday and Saturday.
Yes.
And it was not fun because that was that old spring ring.
Yeah, heavy
At one
back.
point, and then the other one we moved on was that one, and then the one with the 2x4s that you had to take off 2x4 by 2x4 by 2x4 by 2x4. I guess they were 2x4s. I don't know. I'm not smart enough when it comes to wood.
2x6.
Huh?
2x6.
2x6.
Mine had 2x8s. They were big.
And I did that when I started in the business. I was doing that when I was videoing the shows because I spent a time videoing the shows and I helped take down that ring. I spent at least 2 years doing it. I am so glad that those guys and girls don't have to do that every Saturday night after they've already worked in 150-degree wet work conditions and put on hella good matches. Every single worker that comes through the AIWF right now is better than at least 75% of the workers in the 90s.
Oh,
now
that's gonna get some people fired up. I will say this: that we got one of the best rosters that we've ever had. There's some talented young people in there, and so okay, I'll say 50. I'll say 50%. When you young guys, like if some old coot like us is talking about the good old days, and how airtight it was, you don't call them out, especially in public, and call bullshit on them in person. You know, you shouldn't do that. It ain't polite. But know in your head that it is bullshit because things were not airtight. It's just like we reminisce back when we were little kids watching the territories and how awesome Mid-South and Jim Crockett Promotions was. Like it was airtight. No, it wasn't. A lot of stupid shit happened on those wrestling shows, just like it happens now. You know, so I'm all for nostalgia. I love, taking a trip in the Wayback Machine and talking about it and stuff, but to not acknowledge the part of it that was shitty is doing a disservice to young people. You know, it's just like we used to make fun of old people when I was a kid. Yeah, when I was a little boy, I walked to school barefooted, uphill both ways in the snow every day. Well, Grandpappy, you grew up in Charleston, South Carolina. It don't snow down there. It didn't matter. We did it anyway, And so there's a lot of that goes on still to this day, I think, And
I will say this, sir. I will say this. There's a lot of wrestling schools out there that train just to get a ring crew. I mean, damn it, nobody says.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's just things are just different. Okay, so like the majority of the guys who wrestled back then wrestled in 1 or 2 organizations. I mean, it's real. Maybe 3, maybe, but it's just a different world. You pay your dues now by traveling all around, by paying for a passport, by paying for a license in Tennessee, South Carolina, Virginia, wherever. Things that not everybody had to do back then. It's a different world.
I think legally we were supposed to do them, but we didn't.
Well,
Yeah, I remember somebody working at Virginia after the guy left. I won't say any names, but we hit him until he left. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
well,
It's
nowadays their
it's just
big thing is
different.
nowadays the big thing is posting on your social media how many states you've wrestled in.
Yeah, I would encourage young wrestlers to do this. Find a couple of, find some promotions that don't cost you a fortune to drive to. In other words, like that you can drive to within 2 or 3 hours of wherever you live, right? Wherever you live, and find some promotions that you like working for in that general area, as opposed to trying to go out to half the country. Because number one, you're going to save money, which is critical. And number two, you will be able, if you get entrenched with a promotion in a mid to top upper card spot, because you're there every time they run a show, you're going to have the ability to gain more experience and actually draw money, because personal issues draw money. Rick Diesel says it all the time, and I'm inclined to agree. Wrestling matches for the sake of wrestling matches. I mean, once you've seen about 100, 150 wrestling matches, you've seen about all the moves you're going to see. It's just you see them in a different order. So if you're entrenched in a storyline and working with promotions consistently and having personal issues, in my opinion, you do what you want. It's your life. But I'm just saying, I think it would be financially and better for you career-wise to find a few promotions in your home area and stick there and get your experience there. Now, if you get an opportunity to go work Terry Funk out in Amarillo, go. I mean, I get that. He's a former world champion. Not like it's going to happen because Terry's on up there in age now, but I'm just saying there's exceptions to the rule, right?
Well, I agree with that. But if you get a chance every once in a while to go out and experience a new promotion, meet new people, make new contacts, yeah. But don't make it your mission to be able to post how many states you've wrestled in. That's really nothing to brag about, because especially nowadays, most of the time you're just going there to put their regulars over anyhow. And if you ever try to convince me different of that, I will not believe you.
I'd be more impressed to see on your resume how many near riots or actual riots you helped start.
Right, because the fans are so invested into you.
Yeah.
You know, if you go to, Arkansas twice in your life, them fans ain't gonna give two craps about you.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit if you're there. Oh yeah, what's his name? That's why you get crickets when you walk out there.
Yeah, that's why it was so good to see Alex Bryant last night, because name association. Hey, the last time I saw you, there were bodies flying everywhere and people in the crowd fighting. So,
but Alex has been up here like the last 2 or 3 shows, hasn't he?
I missed some of them.
He's establishing himself up here.
Yeah.
And he's developing a fan base. Smart, just like what you said.
And he's got a superplex that when you see it on Roku in the next few weeks, it's gonna blow your fucking mind.
Beautiful. But like, speaking of fan reactions, kind of to rope it back into the show last week, we have a half of a tag team partner who's getting quite over and being well liked by the fans.
I wonder how that's gonna go
when he's
with
myself.
with the rest of the group.
So
I'm sure old JAC is going to take it calmly and collectively and be very level-headed about it.
Yeah. But, yeah, we saw. Yeah. So I was very. I mean, David Parrish is a great wrestler. And,
yes.
And I'm glad to see him not overshadowed. I don't know what's going on. I don't think anybody knows what's going on besides him and probably JAC. But to see him be able to step out from that tyrant was breathtaking.
And there's nothing beneficial yet, but we're just like kind of reading the tea leaves. I mean, him and Ryan Manis seemed to be on the same page after their match last night. So yeah, more to come in the weeks to come. They
say the harder you squeeze, the more people, you can't tighten that grip without losing some. So we'll see. But it was definitely a different a different reaction with him by himself than there is when the Lord of the Fighters Club comes out. I like now that I'm calling Jack Tyrant. I like that. He is a tyrant.
Tyrant, yeah. Yeah, he no, I won't say it. I was about to say it. I'll say it because it's funny, but at least I think it's funny. I was about to say Jack is approaching Sauron levels of pieces of shit at this point, but he's not that far gone yet. So, I mean, so there's one for all you nerds out there, you Lord of the Ring nerds. I hope you like that.
Maybe he's Saruman. He's at Saruman levels, not Sauron. I went even deeper. So
Jack strikes me as the kind of guy, if he was in the right mood, would chop down an entire forest and burn it for the hell of it. I mean,
yeah.
Next thing we know, we're gonna have
So
forestry people all pissed off and threatening him. I heard you like to burn trees, huh? So
a lot happened last night. And
it did.
that we had a lot of, and not just wrestling wise, we had a lot of new faces in the crowd.
Yes, we did.
I think I saw a lot of people that I had not seen before coming to the show, which is fantastic.
Yes.
Which means we're doing something right. If we're doing something right.
Yeah, we're doing something right.
Dead air. I said dead air.
Mercy. So, but folks, you be on the lookout on our social media platforms. I'm sure there are going to be more Deal with the Steel and match announcements to be made public. I know of a few of them that I'm excited about. We can go ahead and tell you, I guess we can go ahead and tell them that about Mickey Fulp and his words that he had last night during his interview. Joe Harrison challenged him and Mickey Fulp accepted. It's going to be Joe Harrison and Mickey Fulp inside the steel cage in an I Quit match. And I told Mickey last night when I interviewed him, I said, I have been around wrestling a long time. I have never seen a devoted tag team and friendship go south so quickly as the Sioux Dudes with Attitudes. Those two, man, they are in a mode like they've hated each other for years. It's incredible.
Oh my God. And I'm gonna tell you, when Joe Harrison brought up Mickey Fulp's fiance, I thought Mickey Fulp, if he was mad before that, he was mad. He was off the charts after that. I think Joe Harrison might have bit off more he can chew with that comment.
That's definitely a tender spot for Mickey, because if you remember in the speech he gave after he turned on Joe Harrison, he mentioned he and his fiance not being able to go out and eat without being bothered by fans.
Yeah.
And so, that's it. Yeah. We'll see if that works to Joe Harrison's advantage or disadvantage come Deal with the Steel in 13 days, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, August the 19th. But don't forget, if you go to the Surry County Fair this weekend, there's free wrestling included with your admission price on Friday and Saturday. There'll be wrestling inside the grandstand area for you to enjoy with your fair ticket. That's about all I've got that I wanted to cover tonight, guys. Any final thoughts before we get out of here?
I'm excited about Deal with the Steel. I always get excited at this Deal with the Steel season. And August it's the dog days of summer and Deal with the Steel season. And it gives me goosebumps, and I'm excited. We got 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks to Deal with the Steel. So tickets are already going fast. I've been getting the notifications today that tickets are already selling on the floor. So it's going to be probably that add more chair thing again. Loving it, baby.
Yes, packed house. Yeah, I might have to stand outside and make my announcements from the parking lot if there's so many people inside. That's okay. I can make it work. Reagan, last final thoughts before we go.
I mean, we have a lot of stuff coming to head that's been brewing for some of it for over a year. I mean, we have some stuff with Justin Flash, Jack, and we have the fallout of probably fallout of the revelation of who was under the hoods that were attacking Buddy Flowers. I mean,
Mhm.
there's a lot of stuff that's boiled over that you're going to see it deal with the steel. So if you're
Yes.
following us, or even if you haven't, I mean, there's a lot on the line for a lot of people that deal with the steel.
And do us all a solid and head on over to the AIWF Ringside Wrestling page on YouTube if you're not already here, and hit the bell, like, and subscribe to the page. It's a really big deal. We are up over 900 now. At last check, we were at 919. Our goal is 1,000. And keep in mind, we have built this and we have not spent not one damn dime on outside advertising. So it's growing as naturally as we can get it to grow by watering it. And I put some water on there yesterday afternoon. I threw one of Clara and Clara's last woman standing match on from Extreme Content. And the last time I checked it, it had already gotten 500 views. So you people out there love your women's wrestling, and we're going to do our damnedest to give you more of it. So we appreciate all the support. But yeah, if you could like and subscribe, that would be a real big deal for us. And you know, if you walk up to me at a live show, I'll shake your hand and tell you how much I appreciate it, because we certainly do. All right. Guess we're going to get out of here. We'll be back. Hopefully we'll have the full card for you next week at this time. So be sure and join us. For Reagan Danzig and Rick Diesel, Commissioner Rick Diesel, I am Mad Matt Carter. Thank you so much for joining us. And we'll see you next week, fans. And until next time, so long for now.